Hello again. Now, if you haven't guessed, I'm prone to buying random things that take my fancy, and this is something I didn't intend to buy but caught my eye, and I thought I'd show you it and also show how to take it to pieces. So this is a Decca Salon 100 model. It's a wind-up gramophone. It dates from probably the 1930s. I think they started making these in 1929, and I don't know how long they made them for, but possibly up into the 1950s. So it's got a fair age to it. Now, it wasn't sold in working order, but using the winding handle, I was actually able to prove that the motor inside still worked. In fact, that was inserted in this hole here, and you wind it clockwise, and to get the handle out you actually wind it anti-clockwise and it pops out. So that's easy enough, and I'm pretty sure that it lives in this little hole here and that clip there for transport. Now, although the motor works, I had read that you could find out the date of them by opening them up and having a look at the label inside, so I thought that was worth a go. So first thing was to take the turntable off. Now, there was a little clip there which I removed, and then the turntable is supposed just to lift off, and it didn't, so I put a drop of oil in there, just a bit of here you are, 3-in-1, and left it overnight, and then in the morning, or in fact the next evening, I was able to pop it off. So let's take it off again. Now, that came off a lot easier than it did the first time round. Okay, so other things to note. Let's take that out again. This thing at the back here is the brake and I think the auto stop. Now, I haven't got this completely figured out yet, but I wanted to take the motor board out, and so I removed the 2 screws which held this into place. So screws are removed now, so we'll just take that out. I also realised this piece of wood here that I've just knocked into the horn was actually covering up a piece of metal, and that metal is actually over the motor board, so it's important to remove the screws along there, as well as the traditional 4 motorboard screws as well. So that's removed. Now, in theory, this board will then just come up, but it's tucked under there and it's quite heavy because there's a big clockwork motor underneath, and I was really struggling to actually get it to lift up. And then I thought, maybe I take this bit out. So now this is the little cup that holds the needles, so I just unscrewed that with a single screw, and that left a nice big hole here which I could get my fingers into, at which point it's possible to get the motorboard out. There we go. That's actually fitted with a number 14 Gerard motor made in England. Unfortunately, although there are a few pencil marks, there's nothing which really indicates the date or looks like a date. So I'm still none the wiser as to when it was made. There's also nothing really inside there. You can see the metal horn there, so the sound box goes on here, sound goes down this tube here and then into the horn, and then I think is reflected up and out. So very simple, and in fact the motor looks to be in pretty good condition. It probably does need a clean, but frankly there's plenty of good looking grease on it, and I know that it works, so to be honest, unless I have a problem with it, I'm going to leave it alone for the minute. So there we are. That's the very basics of how to take apart a Decca Salon type gramophone. As I said, this is a model 100. There were several other similar models which probably come to pieces in much the same way. Okay, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to Mr. RG Stuff.